Hello, we're here with Paul J. Kim.
Namaskaram.
Awesome. We have some questions here for you. The first one, what led you to fall in love with the Eucharist, and how do you share that love with young people?
You know, like many young Catholics, I went to church not liking it. My parents made me go. And while I was a little bitter about that growing up, it wasn't until college where I had an encounter with Christ at Mass. And frankly, I had chosen to go. I was having a reawakening in my faith because of the Blessed Mother. I started praying the Rosary, and man, her grip is very strong. So she was leading me back to Christ. And I remember going back to confession, making a really good confession, and then going to Mass. And I found myself there on a weekday when the average age was 85. All of our grandmas and grandpas were there. But the difference was I was actively seeking God. And when Father elevated the host, the Eucharist, I started to ugly cry. And it wasn't just one tear, it was like, ah! And so I felt like the Holy Spirit was meeting me in a place of faith. And in that Mass on that day, when I realized my Lord and my God, it's been Jesus the whole time. It rocked my faith, it rocked my life, because I had a lot of shame for the fact that I had never taken Mass seriously up until that point. But I had so much joy in my heart knowing that from that point on, I got to receive the Lord truly present in the Eucharist. And so, yeah, that was an absolute game changer.
That's awesome. That's an amazing testimony. My next question is, what are some practical ways you can encourage teens to make the Eucharist the center of their lives?
To make Jesus the center of their lives in the Eucharist, I mean, first of all, is when we go to Mass on Sundays with our families, that time is the opportune moment to just really try to dive in. Now, it's very easy as Catholics to go into auto mode. You know, we just got out of the Holy Qurbana. And it's a beautiful liturgy. Like, you guys, I mean, there's dancing, you know, and I'm like, this is awesome. I don't know what's going on, but this is great. You know, I do know what's going on because I had the prayer book. But if you've grown up in this, it's very easy to shut your brain off. So going into Mass every weekend saying, this could be my last Mass on earth, or maybe my only Mass. Treat it that way. And then secondly, prepare yourself by going over the readings. Go in with a specific intention, not just for yourself, but with like a family member, for a family member friend. And I would even dare say, if you have opportunities during the week to see Jesus, to have a meeting with him in the Eucharist, he's always there in the tabernacle at your church. And so all the saints have said it, but many saints, they say, when you go and visit the Lord in the Eucharist, you receive blessing upon blessing. And that Jesus, who is truly present, has been waiting 2,000 years for you, for that moment. You know, you get really excited when someone calls or texts you, right? Or maybe that person you're really into, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, they just texted me. Oh my gosh, they just added me. And you're so excited. Well, that excitement that God has for you when he sees you approaching him in the church, because he's waiting in that little box. And it can be very lonely there, because he's waiting for whom? For you, for me. And so it means the world to him when you come and spend time with him, and he gets to spend time with you. And I think sometimes when we see God, we see him as like this being way out there who's busy, doesn't have time for us, or maybe he's just annoyed with us. But the truth is, he's all for us. And you know, next time you go to the airport, you see all the aunties and uncles coming from India, right? And they reunite with their family. They're like, oh, I love you. I need Indian food, you know, because I've been eating this weird plain food, right? And you see the hugs and the tears and the excitement. Well, guess what? That is what Jesus feels, but infinitely more when you approach him in communion, when you go and visit him. So remember that. He is close to you.
Awesome. And honestly, I think that covered just about everything. Thank you so much for your time.
Devam anagrahikate.
Yes. Thank you so much from Shekinah News.